The reason they call them Neanderthals is because they were found in the first bones were found in the Neander region of Germany, but they migrated down into the same area as Dravidians. So I'm tracing my ancestry back further than 30, 40,000 years.
So do you think so you're saying there's likely an abduction history throughout like all your DNA and
well,
here
is what I'm looking at.
Or that they implanted your mother because they knew they were.
No, not my mother. No, not my mother.
Oh, so it's not directly your
mother's
genetics.
If they did the genetic manipulation, somebody did genetic manipulation on me.
Yeah.
And before I was born in 1951, so since it's coming through your DNA, then my mother's side of the DNA can go back 200,000 years. So it can be the genetic manipulation could be back 100,000 years with one of my relatives.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be with my mother.
I was thinking it was your direct
But that's so
mother.
interesting. And it's just so amazing that we can find out all this stuff from the DNA test. Now, you said you're afraid. You don't want to do yours.
I don't want to know. I know enough. I know, for example, and not to get too personal, but since we're talking about some of the work they do, I had breast cancer almost 17 years ago. When they found it, I was one of those people who was like 1% of all breast cancers are that kind in the good way.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout all my treatments and getting to know my tatas as well as I did over that time, I found I have this ridge up under my breast. Nobody can explain. I do remember as a child being in the tub, my mother going, "We need to take you to a doctor because my breasts were, as they were developing, they were so firm and they didn't move." I mean, kind of like what people pay for these days. But I have always, it's like, it's a built-in support.
Mm-hmm.
As I've become.
No wonder ribs or something.
Yeah, but it's not my ribs. And I've had girlfriends that I was like, check it out, feel them. Like, what the? I'm like, I know. It's like a built-in ridge that they gave me.
Wow.
So I know that there's things about me, and I don't want to, because I thought they'd come back with that 1% unknown or 10% unknown.
Yeah.
And anytime I mention it to my daughter, and she has, even though she doesn't want to admit it, she has very good intuition. You know, younger people these days don't even realize that's so much of just their day-to-day life. She says, "No, you don't need to do it." So I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm afraid it'd be something that I'd end up spending 2 weeks of my life, or me, probably 2 years, because I don't have just the innate knowledge like you do about understanding that stuff.
Well, only because I've been doing it longer.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me to get that kind of knowledge,
So do you think, so last question, short answer. Do you think that we're the experiment, we're the big gene pool experiment here, that they only take humans away from Earth? Or do you think they're doing this to other places out there?
I personally think it's some sort of a galactic-wide thing. I believe that we might be one of their more proud experiments or more proud explorations, but that is the human in me thinking we're special. So I think that we're all sort of, I saw an interview recently with this gentleman that used to work for the armed forces, and his theory was that, you know, there's so many different species of beings out there, that some of them only meet each other when they're down here, when they all happen to run into each other on Earth. So you have to realize how huge the galaxy is, and even beyond what we're unaware of, that I have no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah. It makes sense that there would be, though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, more than you'd say if it, than saying it doesn't happen. I mean, it would have to happen. Just
I mean,
law
that just
probability.
let logic kick in. I mean, logic does come into play. It just seems to me that why would they just want this one little planet?
Yeah.
You know, we're kind
Well,
of
we're
little
just
piss
so
ants for
ripe
them.
with specimens, aren't we?
Well, I think a lot of
Or
it.
we could be a result of something that they're very proud of too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they
They're
may have
still
started.
working
I
on
mean,
it.
I'm looking at it. I wrote a chapter for this guy's book, Brett Odom's book that was published last year, and what I wrote on. He left it up to me what I wrote on, and I talked about ancient gods, and the ancient gods, except for a couple in the Middle East, all the ancient gods are the same gods the world over for everybody. They just have different names.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Now, but here's something interesting I found out doing my research, and that you always hear about the male god, like Zeus, but Zeus may have been the highest male god, but that guy was scared as hell of his wife.
Yeah.
Because he had the physical things, but all the female gods, all the wives of the male gods, they had the knowledge and the keys to the they had the keys and the knowledge to the information. And I don't care how powerful you are physically or technologically wise, the knowledge and the power, the knowledge and what information you have is the thing. That's how come
Yep.
we're trying to share information about UFOs, and somebody in the secret government or whoever already knows that information, so they had the power over us.
Yeah, yeah.
And Two
So-
Ancient Aliens is, if y'all have not seen, I think it's on History Channel anyway, for years they have been putting on this series, and so I know you can get them on demand and stuff. They do a marvelous job of going different places and showing those connections. I forget what they've referred to their little group of people as, but experts, I mean, people you cannot deny, and they reach out to other experts in different fields. So those are the kind of shows that when I would start watching those, I go, you're right, you're right, you're so right, you're so right, well, you're right, yes, they got it. And I think that's part of that spreading of the knowledge,
Yeah.
and more people becoming more comfortable about saying, look, it is what it is,
Yeah.
and we can only deny it for so
Well,
long.
thank God for that. I'm so glad that it's changing, and that people
Oh,
are
yeah.
able to connect with other people about this, because I
this
saw the need when 20 years ago when I met you, and you
Yeah.
had that group, and so, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say that some of this information you see every day, basically, because if you look at the medical symbol with the wings and the snake
Yeah.
wrapped around there, that's an ancient like an ancient Greek symbol.
Yeah.
And like the FTD florist with the little wings on the feet, get your
Yeah.
that's coming from Mercury.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's why I love astrology.
and
It's all
Mercury-
connected,
yeah,
all
And
that.
Mercury was not a
Exactly.
goddess per se, but Mercury
Yeah.
were demigods
Yeah.
that were selected humans, that something was done to them that was able to communicate with the main gods. They were the intermediary, and they were endowed with certain powers.
Yeah, yeah. So it's, nothing, it's nothing new, but it's new, it's new to us is that we can finally come out and talk about this stuff. And so what I wanted to say in conclusion is thank you guys, first of all, for coming out and sharing this information. Really appreciate it. And oh my gosh, I love you. Give Melba another hand, guys. I'll tell you, this just made my year. I love this. I want to do this again. I really like just you guys. Yes, we have to do the same show again. Can you do the same show again? Look, I'm not Lena.
With a twist.
Yeah. Talk about some other stuff. Yeah, because we could talk for hours about this. But anyways, we got to wrap it up. But I also want to thank one more big hand for my husband David. Amazing man. Thank you, honey, for everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to formally close out the show here. We're going to have a Q&A and then just see what we do. So if you want to find out when the next show is going to be, I'll tell you now, it's going to be March 23rd, but if you want a reminder, there is a Facebook page for the Wicked Awesome Fortune Telly Show that you can get on. And just go like that page, or you can like Astro Girl Susie, which is my page, and I always post these events out there. We do this once a month here, and with different guests and different topics. So, and thank you all for being here. Let's give them a big hand, guys. Tonight, we're gonna hang around for a little while for a meet and greet and Q&A and all that. But thank you all so much for being a part of the Wicked Awesome Fortune Telly Show tonight, and thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Susie.